NVIDIA. This thing, every time I look at it, it's up 6-7%. And guys, today alone, NVIDIA is up a whopping 12.8% and another 3% after hours. So in today's video, we are going to be covering what's going on with the stock. Should you buy? Should you sell? Kind of my thought process with NVIDIA. So I hope you guys all enjoy this. And guys, we're doing a massive sale for our swing trading masterclass course. You guys can use code NVIDIA for 50% off. We're only going to do this for 5 spots, so check it out down below, talking about pretty much how I find undervalued stock, how I actually called out this stock yesterday, and we're going to show you kind of my approach with that here today. So check out that school. It's awesome. But let's dive into this here. So when it comes with NVIDIA, what is going on with the stock? So you guys can see this thing has a beautiful upward trend. You know, it's gone from lows at about $10 all the way highs at about $140. Recently, we did get some sell-off. In the matter of a couple of months, we've seen a lot of volatility from NVIDIA selling off from $140 all the way down to about $104. Now, this is a sell-off of 25%, which is quite large, especially for a massive corporation like NVIDIA. This is billions of dollars of market cap just literally wiped away. So why are we getting sell off? So for me, one of the first reasons I think is we're a little overextended. You know, I really think that right now with just the whole AI sector, we're seeing a lot of these companies that are super inflated and honestly probably shouldn't be worth as much as they are. You know, and then we see companies like NVIDIA, which is really kind of holding up a lot of AI. Everybody is investing into AI and all this stuff to find the next NVIDIA, when in some cases it's always better to just invest into NVIDIA and then, you know, just get the slower growth, if that makes sense. But even the slower growth out of this is crazy. So let's talk about my thought process and pretty much how I called out this stock yesterday and why I called it out. So looking at the stock, you guys will notice we have this blue line. So this is what we call a moving average line. And I know it may seem a little confusing or overwhelming, you know, but this is what we call an indicator. This helps traders, hedge funds get a general idea of where support is and where resistance is. So support is where we get good buying pressure out of a stock. So looking back at this chart, what do you notice every time it hits these blue lines, right? We get buying pressure, right? So you guys can see it hits it. We got buying pressure, hits it again, and then recently sells off down to, you know, some more levels, get buying pressure, and then recently we had that crazy move. So it sold off, but before you invest, you always want to make sure you're not gonna buy low and then have it just continue to sell off, if that makes sense. So what I do is I go to a lower time frame. And I try to find some sort of support here. And you guys can kind of see that what we've seen out of NVIDIA is this massive separation where the stock is really, from a moving average line perspective, from here, it's 10%. You know, looking back at most circumstances, every time it sells off about that much, this is 8%, we get buying pressure out of it. So looking back, so it sells off right here, 11%, and we immediately get good buying pressure out of it. So I understand too, we did see a lot of volatility from just the general market yesterday. Another thing here that we actually had here was some pretty hard support recently at about this 110 area. That 110 area had good tendencies of getting buying pressure. It did dip below it for a brief second before getting good buying pressure out above it. So that's really good. Another indicator we use is something called other moving average lines. These are what we have, the 50 and the 200-day. Historically, every time we have the blue one break through the red one, that represents a good opportunity to buy it. You guys can see it broke up, and then on the flip side, when it dips down, that's when you should sell it, right? So you guys can see when it goes up through it, good buying pressure. When it dips down through it, selling pressure. So, you know, you guys can catch some really good runners. And the thing is there is still some good separation from this, so the stock could have a bunch of room to go. So, should you buy NVIDIA here? That's everybody's main question. For me, this company carries a ton of potential. And another thing here is today, Nancy Pelosi just released that she just bought some of these shares, which a lot of people follow her for investing advice because she's been known to be a very, very good investor. I'm not going to get political on here, but she's historically beaten the S&P 500. She's beaten icons like Warren Buffett. And honestly, a lot of people look at her and they just kind of follow her trading plan. And so that's what happened. Today she released it because it's all public information. And the stock skyrocketed up because of her and a lot of other retail investors, I should say, following her track. So for me, yes, this thing does carry a ton of potential. I do think the best strategy for investing into NVIDIA is going to be to dollar cost average it. Dollar cost averaging is investing consistently rather than just dumping in a bunch of money. The reason why that's so good is because you can average in on your price. So if NVIDIA sells off a little bit, you average down. So once it recovers, you make a lot more money. It's a very simple way to invest, but still get great growth. So guys, this is everything going on with this company and answering that main question of should you buy it. NVIDIA has great fundamentals and stuff like that, and I think we all know that. And I really didn't want to break down all the revenues that they beat every single quarter and stuff like that, because I think we all know that by now. But guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed this, but more importantly, I hope you guys learned something. If you guys did, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you want to take that next step for investing and trading, check out our school, code NVIDIA for 50% off, and we'll see you guys in there. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and take care.